Hey guys, so in today's lecture, we are going to discuss energy pricing and energy security. So, what is energy pricing and energy security? So, whichever energy we get, so it is its price is regulated by the government in some or the other ways. Why? Because it doesn't increase or decrease the inflation, or it may not burden the common people of India, because of which the pricing of each and every resources, raw materials, are controlled by the government. So we will see few of the raw materials which majorly is used in India and whose prices are controlled by the government. So first is coal. So coal have different grades of coal, like lignite, peat coal, and it has different prices. So grade wise basic price of coal at pithead excluding statutory is fixed by Coal India Limited. So Coal India Limited fixes the prices of the coal from time to time. So the pitted price of coal in India compares favorably with price of imported coal. So the price of the coal is comparable with the coal which is imported. So in spite of this, industry still import coal due to its higher calorific value and low ash content, but overall it's very costly. So generally people also import coal to get higher calorific value of the coal. Then the next raw material is oil. So oil as a part of energy sector reforms, the government has attempted to bring prices for many of petroleum products in line with international prices. The most important achievement has been linking of diesel prices and petrol prices to international prices and a reduction in subsidy. However, LPG and kerosene consumed mainly by domestic sectors continue to be heavily subsidized. Subsidies and cross subsidies have resulted in serious distortion in prices. Natural gas. Next is natural gas. So, natural gas is generally used in cooking and in transportation. So, that is PNG and LPG. So, the government has been the sole authority for fixing the price of natural gas in the country. It has also been taking decisions on allocation of gas to various competing consumers. The gas price varies from around 5 to 15 per cubic meter. So, from the above resources, electricity is generated by power plants. So, pricing electricity is done as given below. So, as an end consumer, we generally use electricity. So, electricity is priced based on tariffs in India, which are structured relatively simple way, while high tension consumers are charged on both demand kilowatt ampere and energy kilowatt hour. The low tension consumers pays only for energy consumed, it is kilowatt hour as per tariff system in most of the electricity boards. The price per kilowatt hour varies significantly across states as well as customer segments within a state. Tariffs in India have been modified to consider the time of usage and voltage level of supply. In addition to the base tariff, some electricity boards have additional recovery from customers in form of fuel surcharge, electrical duties and taxes. So, for example, for an industrial consumer, the demand charges may vary from 150 to 300 per kilovolt ampere, whereas the energy charges may vary anywhere between from 2 to 5 per kilowatt hour. As for the tariff adjustment mechanism, even when some states have regulatory commissions for tariff review, the decision to effect changes are still political and there is no automatic adjustment mechanism which can ensure recovery of costs for electricity boards. So now we will see uh, our next topic, that is energy security. So, as the name suggests, security of the energy means, are is India secure from energy, which means we are not dependent on other countries and other nations for our energy. So if we are not dependent and we are fully independent, then we are fully energy secured. So there is a statement according to the energy policy 2006 energy security of India, that is, we are energy secure when we can supply lifeline energy to all our citizens irrespective of their ability to pay for it, as well as meet their effective demand for safe and convenient energy to satisfy their various needs at competitive prices at all times and with a prescribed confidence level, considering shocks and disruptions that can be reasonably expected. So this is the statement which the Integrated Energy Policy 2006, in which it was stated. So, which means we have two basic aims for energy security in India. First, to reduce the dependency on imported energy sources for its growth. So, we have so much dependency of importing crude oil from all over the world. From every country in the world, we are importing crude oil. So, to reduce this dependency on crude oil, so on petroleum, we need to shift towards electric cars or better alternatives like renewable energy sources. So, that is our first aim to secure our energy security. Second, to provide energy to all its citizens at all time and at an affordable cost. So, to provide energy to each and every citizen, whether rich, poor, and at an affordable cost, means at very low cost. So, these two are our aims for energy security. So, our country is facing the shortfall of energy since 1985. So, in India, installed capacity is around 150 gigawatt and per capita consumption of only 650 units of electricity per annum. So, India is suffering a huge shortage of 10% in energy terms, and this shortage is increasing rapidly because of increasing demand as well as our inability to meet the demand. To meet this shortfall, imports of coal and oil have been increasing at rates of 16% and 7% per annum respectively. This import rate is going to increase further in next 10 to 15 years. So according to a report by International Energy Agency, India needs to invest a total $800 billion in various stages by 2030 to meet its demand. So, which means that around $800 billion is required to be invested. Then and then we can meet our demand. Now, what are the issues facing for energy security? That why we are not able to secure our energy. So there are around seven seven uh, issues which we are going to discuss one by one, due to which we are not able to secure our energy. So first issue is import of fossil fuels. So the energy requirement of Indian economy are estimated to increase substantially in next 2 decades. So according to the IEP Integrated Energy Policy, for a 9% growth over a sustained period, imports of crude oil in 2031 and 32 may be between 362 to 520 million tons, with import dependency of 91% to 94%. For natural gas, it may be around 25 to 135 metric ton, which means import dependency of 20 to 57% of supply. Coal imports may be between 300 to 736 metric ton, which may be an import dependency of 34 to 57%. So total import dependence may be 58 to 67% as against current level of 25%, with imports estimated at an higher end at 1382 metric ton and total energy consumption at 2077 metric ton. Clearly, two major fuels, oil and coal, may require large imports in the next 2 decades. So, this is the main issue, that the fossil fuels, we are fully dependent, around 50%, on the other countries. So, next main issue is why we are dependent. So that is lack of exploration and production, that we are not exploring our Indian areas from which we can get various our natural resources like crude oil and coal. So in India, there is very low investment in the activities of exploration and production in past 2 decades. There are small oil fields that are being explored which can barely fulfill our oil demand. The Karian Vedanta case is a live example leading to the barrier in the oil field exploration and production. The pending case has directly affected the production of the company and its exploration activities. In the coal sector, there has been 208 coal blocks been awarded to various companies, but activities are yet to start in around 100 coal blocks. Natural gas is nowadays the major issue, as around a dozen gas-based plants are coming up in India. So the KG Basin case is the only significant achievement showing the success of exploration and production activities. So such kind of problems create shortage for energy. So that is the second main issue which we are dealing, that is exploration production. So third issue is shortage in storage facilities. So as per major sources of energy are imported, there is a threat due to lack of shortage facilities in India. the major part of crude oil is being imported, and there are hardly any steps taken for its shortage. During the economic crisis, India may suffer from shortfall of crude oil for refining and will eventually purchase it at higher prices, leading to decline in country's economy. So this is also an important issue which may lead to the consequences of our not securing the energy. Then the fourth point is rural electrification. So India has a major part of population in the rural areas. Out of this, there are around 1,23,000 villages that have no mark of electricity. Transmission lines are already been laid out, but not been used as there is lack of interest in providing electricity to the rural population. Due to lack of capability to pay higher tariffs, private players in the rural power sector have been ignored, setting up power plant near the rural areas. Rural Electrification Corporation Limited, the only PSU in India, was set for rural electrification. Then the next point is that is losses in transmission and distribution. So our country is already suffering from heavy transmission and distribution losses. India has an installed capacity of around 167 gigawatt. There is the data from Ministry of Power as on 2010, but during transmission it suffers around 30% of the losses. This has been improved, but this losses led to higher tariffs that are to be faced by the local consumers. So there is a loss of power in the agriculture sector as no defined schedule is being planned. Reduction in transmission and distribution losses will help India in supporting the energy efficiency and energy security of the nation. The next issue is unutilized renewable resources. So India is being gifted with abundant diversified renewable potential, but it has not been successfully utilizing it. So there is a lack of awareness among the people about the benefits of it. So the nation has a potential of around 45 gigawatt from wind power, close to 15 gigawatt from small hydro, 16 gigawatt from biomass, and can produce 20 megawatt per kilometer square of solar power. But out of the above numbers, only 30% of renewable potential has been utilized. The electricity generation mix in India comprise of around 10% of the renewable sources. Then the main issue last is energy efficiency and energy conservation. So the concept of efficiency can be applied in energy extraction, transportation and conversion as well as in consumption. So in all these four sectors we can apply the efficiency factor. So further, the same level of service can be provided by alternate means that requires less energy. The major areas where it can make substantial impact are mining, electricity generation, electricity transmission, distribution, transport equipment, pumping water, industrial production and processes, mass transport, building design, construction, lighting, and household appliances, HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So, it should also be noted that a unit of energy saved by a user is greater than a unit produced, as it saves on production, transport, transmission, and distribution losses. So, energy conservation is also an important for energy security. So, there are many ways by which energy conservation is possible to achieve.